All right, everyone, hello and welcome to Demo Day. Thank you all for being here. My name is Mike Rabb. I'm the Executive Director of the Garage at Northwestern. And today is the culmination of our JumpStart Summer Accelerator Program, where we give Northwestern student founders $10,000 to work on their startups full-time over the summer, supported by mentorship, programming, workshops, and more. Now, it's been a busy day for these teams, Demo Day. They started this morning by pitching to a panel of 4 judges, followed by Q&A where they answered difficult questions about their businesses. Those judges have already deliberated and decided who's going to take home the top prizes today, which will be announced at the end of today's program. But there's still one award waiting to be awarded, which is only for people in this room to decide, and that's the audience favorite award. So keep track of those that you think have the most promise, and you can vote at the end of the program. Like all programs at the Garage, JumpStart is open to students from all schools and levels of study. And this summer, we invited 11 teams to participate out of more than 100 applicants over the course of winter and spring quarters. It's a diverse group from different schools and levels of study, and also the projects that they're working on, as you'll see. Now, before we get to the pitches, I just want to thank everyone that it takes to make possible a program like JumpStart, including the Garage's staff, as well as more than 50 volunteers who serve as team mentors, workshop hosts, pitch coaches, judges, and so much more. So thank you to everyone who helped out this summer for JumpStart. And finally, before we get to the pitches, which I know is what you're all here to see, I just wanted to thank and congratulate the student participants this summer. You've all worked so hard and made so much progress, and it's been inspiring to see your ambition, your execution, and your collaboration with each other. So congratulations on all the progress that you've made.
Hi everyone, I'm Nanda. I study CS here at Northwestern.
Hey everyone, I'm Amala. I study computer science and economics at Yale. And we're here to talk to you about how young people, these apps suck
So bad.
Tinder, Hinge, or Bumble, matches don't turn into dates. On top of that, scrolling is a lonely experience. And research shows that couples who meet online have less stable relationships than those who meet in person. Let's take a look at our friend Josh from Northwestern, who spent the last year at Northwestern on Hinge looking for love. Out of the 5,008 swipes he completed, he ended up with 132 matches, which turned into 38 chats and 0 dates. Damn! So it shouldn't be a surprise that young people are running away from these apps. The big players, Tinder, Hinge, Bumble, they're scrambling for ways to make them stay. But the truth is, young people are sick of swiping. They want real-life connections. They want...
Are too complicated, and a lot of people are trying to fix it, but our hypothesis is very simple. All everyone really wants is a date with someone cute. Because at the end of the day, mutual attraction will always be the first necessary condition for a successful first date and possible relationship thereafter. We believe an algorithm can't predict who your soulmate is, but it can predict who you're going to find attractive. So with this idea in mind, we designed an experiment. First, we created this set of AI-generated faces with strategically varied facial features. and had people pick the ones they preferred.
Once we had their choices, we thought our algorithm would be able to decode their preferences and pair them with someone else they'd find attractive, who would also find them attractive. At that point, we could just send them out on a date, no swiping necessary.
So with this idea in mind, now we needed to get the word out there and find out if people actually wanted it. So we threw up our landing page with a 6-day countdown and a link to our matching form.
We made a few posts on Fizz, which is just like Reddit, but completely anonymous and just for Northwestern students, and within hours, these posts were blowing up.
Finally, we threw up these posters all over campus, and within just a few days, Fizz was going crazy, and we had hundreds of people sign up.
At this point, we knew people wanted this, but we still needed to figure out if they were willing to pay. So we ran the algorithm, made the matches, and then asked people to pay for the results of their date. For undergrads, we asked 70% of them to pay $5 and let the rest go for free just to see how the dates would turn out. For grads, we asked a quarter of them to pay $15, half of them to pay $10, and the remaining quarter to pay $5.
Finally, for those that did pay, we sent them the time and place for their first date. No swiping, no scrolling, no texting, no ghosting, just a real-life first date.
And here were the results of our experiment. 60 people on dates, over 350 people on the wait list, and $460 in revenue in the process.
Moreover, 93% of our grad students said they want to get matched again at the same price, and 96% of all participants said it was easier to get a date with us versus a dating app.
So it seems like our experiment was a success. We followed it up with a second round at Northwestern a few weeks ago and another round at UChicago to see if our success was recreatable on a different campus. And here are the results. Another 64 people sent on dates and an additional $550 in revenue, which means over our 2 test rounds during the summer when there's barely anyone on campus, we made $1,000 in revenue.
But we have bigger long-term goals. We aim to launch in 10 schools in 10 weeks by the end of fall quarter 2025.
And we'll do this with campus ambassadors, students at these universities that we pay for every paid sign-up they bring us. They'll do the same thing we did here. Use their campus knowledge to get the word out there on campus forums and with flyers. They'll help us facilitate monthly matching rounds, which is what our users say they'd prefer over a continuous service or, God forbid, another dating app.
And working off our summer payment rates with conservative estimates of matching 3.5% of Northwestern undergrads at $5 each and 3.5% of Northwestern grad students at $15 each, we aim to make over $50,000 a year at Northwestern alone, which is over $500,000 at those 10 similar campuses.
That's pretty crazy.
It is pretty crazy.
Right. So, if you're as excited about this as we are, we hope you'll join us in saying no to the dating apps and saying yes to bringing real life dating back.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Procurement is the perfect mix of boring and painful. That was our learning in consulting with my co-founder Mark, and we've decided to do something about it. But we are also well aware that most of you in this room have not spent the last decade every day purchasing items for 6 hours. So let us explain what does a procurement manager has to deal with on a day-to-day level. First, they try to identify what items do they currently have, what items do they need to get to make sure that the business keeps on running, identify whom to get this item from and how much to get from each item, optimize the order, and then back to square one because it's a never-ending optimization. And even when they got the purchase orders out of the door, they still have a lot of admin stuff to do. Okay, but we knew that it was bad, but we never truly understood just how bad it was until we talked to about 150 procurement professionals and we've heard their pain firsthand. The best example we could give is one of our first customers, Ben. When he's seen our email, he did not just reply. He picked up the phone, called us, and told us, guys, I need your help. Not only that, but while still on the first call with us, he shared live his company procurement data so that we can actually start immediately working on the solution. And why? Why would he do that? Because his current processes were just bleeding time. It took him weekly 20 to 30 hours to generate all the purchases that he needs. He still ended up making critical mistakes. It doesn't matter that he got 321 items right that week. He missed the 322nd, and that cost the business $20,000+. And even after all this, when his boss asked for some figures, it took him 15, 20 minutes just to find the right data. How can we actually help them? Well, we are building Nyck. Nyck is an AI agent built to perform purchasing tasks at mid-sized companies, just as a human employee would. But how does Nyck go about that? First, we just ingest the data from the ERP systems or the Excel sheets. We calculate the right amount to order and optimize it to the last penny. We generate all the purchase orders. We even generate all the communications to the suppliers. All Ben has to do is to check Nyck's work and hit send.
And this summer, we've brought Nyck from a concept into the real world. We've launched our MVP to manage over $30 million of annual spend with 3 companies. We're seeing real traction in food distribution, where they're ordering thousands of SKUs on a weekly basis, as well as manufacturing, where they're ordering daily to keep their job shop running. With our product launch, we're seeing daily use from our customers, giving us tons of product feedback to action to improve over time. Most importantly, we have defined goals and KPIs with those customers to drive value of the software within their organization, which tees us up with a clear path to revenue of $500 to $1,000 a month with each customer. On average, Nyck is already handling over 1,000 items and $100,000 worth of supplies in a given month. Keep in mind, we just launched last week. Over the next month, we're going to be moving millions of dollars of procurement spend through Nyck, and we're already hearing from our customers about how the product is legitimately life-changing and easily saving over 20 hours per week for our initial set of customers. Most importantly, this summer, we spent time identifying our ideal customer profile and exactly what they want. We're looking for companies that have manual calculation of purchases and manually create and track purchase orders. Broadly, we're seeing this applicable to 3 sectors: distribution, e-commerce, and manufacturing, especially in the $10 to $50 million revenue range, where there's high enough willingness to pay, but low enough complexity that we can fully automate the process end to end. We're also looking for companies that have an ERP already, and we're targeting a CEO or VP of operations at organizations that already have at least 1 full-time procurement employee. They've also told us this summer that they want ERP integration, end-to-end PO lifecycle management, and visibility on pricing, which is exactly what we're building into the platform this fall. And this summer, we've sent over 3,500 outbound messages and seen really strong response rates across referrals, calls, and LinkedIn. We've had 46 conversations this summer with small and medium businesses, 10 potential customers in active contracting discussions, and 1 net new customer signing a contract as we speak. These are a few of our favorite quotes from the summer reacting to our demo that make us feel that we truly are building the future. Very cool, you can't do any of this stuff in Oracle, and let me put it this way, this is really cool stuff. Most importantly, we have a clear plan for the fall of how we're going to add 2 to 4 new customers per month, making sure that we add revenue to our bottom line. And our goal is to achieve $240,000 in ARR over the next 9 months. First, by converting our current pipeline of customers and building out key pieces of the platform. Then, by focusing on go-to-market, closing deals at a rapid rate over the winter and spring, setting us up for a VC fundraise June of next year, allowing us to bring this from Kellogg out into the real world. We believe that today SMBs do not have the tools they need to continue to compete with enterprises and, most importantly, power our economy, and we refuse to leave them behind. We hope you'll join us on this mission. Thank you.
Hey everyone, my name is Angie. I'm the CEO of NLab, where we're sparking a revolution and changing the way people learn electrical engineering forever. When I was a kid, I knew I wanted to work in robotics, but not just any robots. I wanted to work on the ones I saw on theme park rides. So, by the time I got to college, I was super excited to take my first circuits class, until I entered the lab, and I was shocked. Not by electricity, but by these monstrosities. Giant, scary, outdated machines shared by dozens of students. Now, I was really good at math, so I got an A+ in circuits. but I never built a single one. I graduated with the grades, but without skills, without confidence. Actually, can we zoom in on those machines real quick? Yeah, gross, right? This is the sad reality facing so many would-be engineers. A broken learning system with tools and textbooks that haven't changed in decades. No wonder students are feeling left behind, and the consequences are real. Even though the electronics market is booming, growing by $300 billion in the next few years, electrical engineering is down 90%, leading to a global shortage. In fact, 75% of US employers can't find anyone to hire. Why is this important? Well, while everyone's talking about AI and automation, we're forgetting about the one thing that makes it all run, which is electricity. Circuits are the invisible foundation of our tangible world. If you care about innovation, you care about electrical engineering. And yet, for how much the future relies on it, it's caught in the past. So what can we do about this? We can give this electronics lab a much-needed makeover. First, let's combine these machines into one. And now, let's make it tiny. And finally, let's make it affordable so that everyone can have one. And here we have it. Introducing NLab, the world's smallest electronics lab. Thousands of dollars of equipment shrunk to the size of a credit card. How is this possible? Well, it turns out your computer has most of the capability to be an electronics lab. It just needs the NLab and the NLab app to complete the equation. It's that simple. How did we come up with this idea? 2 Northwestern teachers, frustrated watching their students struggle, spent 10 years developing what would become NLab. And lucky me, I was one of the first students to test it out. And I believed in it so much that I started working with Nyck and David in my free time. And something unexpected happened. We couldn't keep up with demand. Universities started reaching out, asking for 50 units at a time. We sold 4,000 NLabs this way and generated $500,000 in revenue with 0 ad spend, 0 CAC. Professors asked us to add a circuits kit and video tutorials to make their lives easier. So we did. As for students, they had one request. Could you make it less boring? So we did. We added to the kit destination projects. Students build cool things like a microphone, a heartbeat monitor, a video game, all while learning the real math and theory underneath. And we didn't stop there. We completely revamped our videos to feel more like YouTube, not school. Fun, fast, full of humor and storytelling. And we wanted to do it right, so we brought on an expert who helped us launch our YouTube channel just a few days ago. But before this, we were testing our YouTube videos, and we got this comment. Thanks for showing my little girl that electronics is for everyone. So after I finished crying, I realized that we had accidentally created something that was for everyone, an all-inclusive platform that allows anyone to learn hands-on engineering for just $200. So with that, we're taking NLab beyond the classroom into B2C. Why? Well, because it's a bigger market, much bigger. And we spent this entire summer testing 3 major market segments. The first being teens who are serious about pursuing tech. Next up are adults looking to reskill into this area. And finally, nerds like me who are just exploring electronics for fun. Our first ad test was a huge success, but we didn't stop there. We're also collaborating with First Robotics and hope to gain access to their 700,000 B2C users worldwide. We stand out by offering real hands-on learning that you can take with you immediately into the real world. And with the advent of AI, these computer science jobs are going away and being replaced by these jobs. And NLab's learners are going to fill the funnel. We are ready to change the world and change lives with this product. But can it really change lives? Yes, it can. The NLab propelled me into an amazing career, including my dream job, working on the robots at Disney. And now I'm here to pay it forward. I'm getting my MBA in order to bring this amazing product to more people. Because at NLab, we believe anyone, anywhere can become an engineer. So who's ready to join us as we make this world a little bit brighter, one circuit at a time? Thank you.
Good evening, everyone.
My name is Shripad Ganti.
And I'm Christian Holmes, and we're Irisight, a walk analysis app for physical therapists. My earliest memory is with my grandfather, someone who had to run around the front yard with, playing football like we're the 2008 Chicago Bears, playing hide and seek around the house for hours. But this all stopped when I turned 9 and he had a serious fall. He injured his leg and he went to PT for years but was never able to fully recover. We weren't able to relive the same memories that we once had. And billions of others have the same problem where family members, loved ones, they injure themselves and they're unable to have the same life experiences. Look at this picture over here of this person walking. At first glance, it might look relatively normal. But this is actually a walking pattern that is an early indicator of neurological and cardiovascular disease called the Trendelenburg walk. And you're not alone. 45% of physical therapists are unable to catch this first early symptom. Less than 10% of patients receive a comprehensive walk analysis that is able to pick up on something like this walking pattern, the Trendelenburg walk. And as a result, 1 in 3 abnormal walking patterns go undetected by physical therapy as a whole. Abnormal walking leads to falling, the number 2 highest cause of unintentional death worldwide. Pain, with 85% of people becoming sedentary. And 1 in 2 caregivers enduring emotional stress because of the dependence that it creates on those around you when you can't walk.
We talked to many physical therapists and they all said the same thing. Current methods are either way too expensive or not, kind of vague. I mean, look at this in-clinic walking score. It's a multiple choice set and it's kind of pretty vague. On the other end of things, we got lab-grade equipment. This is Christian in the picture. They're strapping him up with a bunch of sensors, and each camera in this picture is upwards of $10,000. Right now, there's nothing to continuously monitor a patient. And since patients can't continuously be monitored, many people just don't stick to their PT. They don't feel like they're making progress. And as a result, 55% of patients discontinue PT, and this costs insurance billions in damages. And so we built Irisight. Irisight's an app where all a PT needs to do is literally take out a smartphone and record their patient walking in clinic. From there, they can get accurate walking information, like if they're walking slower or faster than normal, or if they're using one leg over the other. Additionally, they can track pain recovery through remote patient surveys, and this is all affordable. So what do patients do at home? Well, first, they submit a weekly remote patient survey. And from there, we get both the qualitative metrics on how the patient feels, as well as the quantitative metrics from the PT. Combining both, we get the most holistic view possible. And with Irisight, PTs can grow their businesses, retain way more patients, and finally lead to much better patient outcomes.
We conducted a 3-day cold email outreach on our products, and we achieved a 23.7% cold email conversion rate with 83 meetings across different physical therapy specialties. Results were absolutely ecstatic, from pure intrigue to physical therapists inviting their colleagues onto our call, to interest in a trial without even seeing our product, and highlighting the relevance that this has to advancing physical therapy as a whole. They all said the same thing, that they're going to use our products. And with 41 meetings that we've had so far, 41 have asked us to prototype with them.
The current competitor space is either competitors that are pretty cheap. They just don't provide any quantitative metrics. On the other end of things, you've got very expensive competitors that provide awesome quantitative metrics. They're just $100,000. Irisight is cheap, affordable, and finally can provide accurate information. And we're building this now because AI is finally mature enough. PTs are integrating AI more and more into their workflow, and as a result, they can help more patients better and faster. And the second reason is that insurance is actually now moving more towards preventable health. They're spending way more money, and because of this, PTs can actually prevent super costly claims before it even happens.
For each patient, all a physical therapist has to do is bill insurance for a $187 reimbursement. $137 of that $187 goes to net profit to the physical therapy clinic, and $50 comes to Irisight. $50 is a number that we determined with our prototypers. Seeing roughly 100 patients per month per physical therapist, we're looking at $5,000 a month in revenue, and a $2.4 billion opportunity in the United States alone with 40,000 private PT clinics. As we continue to deploy into physical therapy offices, the data that we collect will be able to continuously be fed back into our model, creating a moat around our technology.
I'm Shripad Ganti. I'm a machine learning researcher.
And I'm Christian Holmes, and I have 3 years of NSF-funded medical device research experience. and medical technology consulting experience. And we're Irisight. We're enabling physical therapy to grow their businesses and have patients reach their full outcomes to continue creating memories with their loved ones in full health. Thank you very much.
So much.
Hi, I'm Nana.
Hi, I'm Dasha. Picture this. It's a lovely day with your family. You're at a theme park, the airport, the shopping center. You're looking around, you're having fun, and your child is gone. As a mom, I've experienced this firsthand. Your chest starts to tighten and your heart starts to race, and in that moment, nothing else matters but finding them.
Even if you're not a parent, you've seen those kids running wild in crowds and those parents desperately trying to contain them.
And that desperation is not just a fleeting moment. That anxiety is something that persists so much that parents have resorted to this.
A child on a leash struggling. And if you were like me before I had some wild nephews, you might have looked at this and judged them, thinking, wow, that kid must be so bad, their parent has to treat them like a dog. But after talking to over 120 parents, we realized we weren't the only ones who hated these so-called safety products. With leashes, we knew they technically solved the problem, but they're highly restrictive in allowing children to explore public spaces in a safe way. And the worst part is, they're embarrassing for both the parent and the child and often feel like punishment. And in today's day and age, you have to ask, there's gotta be a better solution. Parents have the exact same question. But electronic solutions like AirTags or smartwatches are not only inaccurate within 100 feet, so not great for your toddler, but there's no instant alerts, which means parents notice that their child's missing way too late, wasting precious seconds and minutes that matter. And the worst part is, kids are completely left out of the equation. No kid alert means no child awareness. That means it's up to the parent to A, notice their child's missing, B, find out where that child went, C, get that child's attention, and D, get them back to them safely. It's no wonder that parents are so anxious all the time.
So that's why we created Meemo, a wearable device for both parent and child that makes safety as simple as 1, 2, 3. Even my toddler can follow this. First step, the parent and child wear their Meemo device. Then, the parent sets the distance with the push of a button on the Meemo to 5, 10, or 20 feet. And step 3 is my favorite because Meemo does all of the hard work. Using off of our accurate and reliable technology, Meemo is able to instantly alert both parent and child with a sound and vibration when they are too far apart. The alerts go off when they are back reunited or if the parent has turned off the Meemo devices. This gives parents peace of mind, which is very coveted. And this peace of mind only costs $195 for a Meemo starter kit.
We wanted to make sure that we weren't like everyone else, and we were actually building a product that solved parents' pain point. So we posted a TikTok demoing our first MVP. Yeah, that happened in Target and helped us prevent us from shopping too much. But what we found out was parents already love Meemo. Within a day, we got over 25,000 likes, and within a week, we got over 500,000 views and 200 comments clamoring for Meemo today. And some were wives asking for their husbands. To build off this traction, we wanted to come up with a very aggressive timeline to building our product. So we wanted to go from that MVP you saw in that last TikTok all the way to a wearable Meemo that you see today that perfectly fits all of the hardware inside. And at every step of the way, we made sure to incorporate valuable parent feedback, so we were always keeping parents first in mind. The next question we want to answer is, how big of a problem is this? With all of the households in America with children, 10.4 of them have at least one 2 to 5-year-old, meaning we built a $2 billion opportunity today with just our starter kit.
So this past year, we've been heads down in R&D, but we did not let that prevent us from tracking demand. So what we've done is post on online and offline locations where we know that parents are seeking advice, such as Reddit, Instagram, and at local establishments that are family-friendly across the Chicagoland area. However, in the last 2 weeks or so, we've changed our strategy to focus on selling the product. And in a short amount of time, we've been able to secure a partnership with a local business in Roscoe Village to sell the Meemo, and also connect with 16 micro parent influencers to help promote Meemo. And the cost? Nothing. They're doing this purely out of their excitement and love for Meemo. And this is our dream team. We are Kellogg founders with a diverse set of background, and we all have a common thread in that we love children. I am a mother of 3.
And the rest of us have nibblings that we love to spoil.
But more importantly, we love keeping them safe. So backed by some professional engineers and some interns who are also in the house, we're all trying to build a future where parents can have that peace of mind so that they can
Unleash their kids with Meemo. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Maddie.
And I'm Sophia.
And we are the co-founders of Roots. Have you ever wished that you'd known who your parents were before you came along? Imagine getting to run around the house with your dad when he was 10, or getting to sit and talk with your mom on the night of her prom.
These are the intricate details we learn from a single photo. But most of us rarely know the full story behind them because we don't think to ask. Life gets busy and we move on.
And then one day, it's too late. And suddenly, these photos are all we have of the people we once loved. We wish that we asked the questions. We wish that we listened to the stories.
This is the quiet heartbreak that happens in families every day. Because here's the truth. Most families know that they should be asking their grandparents questions, but they don't. Because it takes time, it's emotional, and the disorganization limits access to photos.
Sometimes sitting down with a loved one and listening to their memories can feel like quietly acknowledging that they're getting older. The feeling of grief in disguise. So families put it off. And when they do, stories vanish, photos get tucked away, and moments that shaped our loved ones' lives get lost forever. We created Roots to change that.
During the pandemic, I was staying with my grandmother when I stumbled upon a box of old family photographs. With all the time in the world, we decided to sit down and create a scrapbook. As we worked, I discovered relatives that I'd never even heard of, and saw photos and stories of my dad that I had never known. But it also made me wonder, what if I'd never found that box? What if I'd never known her stories?
Other companies have made tools to help people organize their photos at home. Storyworth has seniors type their memories into an app. LegacyBox has you ship your photos away to be digitized. And Memento has you sit down and write answers to digital story prompts. But Roots is different. There is no confusing technology, no expensive subscriptions, and no seniors sitting at home alone with a screen. And the best part is families pay nothing to gain access to their memories. We bring stories right where they belong, into community. Roots goes straight into retirement homes and runs in-person workshops with seniors.
Retirement homes can have activities budgets up to $6,000, paying vendors up to $250 per event.
So, for just $500 a month, Roots goes directly into retirement homes and runs workshops led by Northwestern students, empathetic and curious facilitators who will sit down with seniors and guide them through their photos and mementos.
We provide everything: photo boxes, recording equipment, and collage supplies. All seniors have to do is show up and share. Here's what happens in a Roots session. Residents gather in small groups, bring photos and letters from their rooms, and then they start talking. One memory sparks another. As they talk, we capture their voices and pair it to the photos. At the end of a Roots session, residents leave with a photo album or a scrapbook enriched with QR codes that link to their own voices telling their own stories. Families don't just get photos, they get a legacy that they can pass down for generations.
And seniors love it. Meet Joel, an Evanston native, born in 1937, and a former ice cream man. Joel came to one of our Roots sessions, brought his photos, and just lit up telling stories about his ice cream days.
Activities directors love it because it requires no extra work from their staff and boosts engagement in the retirement homes, which is a big problem.
Joel is just one of the seniors that lives at the franchise Senior Lifestyle in Northbrook, where we've demoed our workshop.
This fall, we have secured our piloting program with Senior Lifestyle at 6 of their locations, thanks to the help of JumpStart. After meeting with National Director of Resident Programming at Senior Lifestyle, Jessica Daly, we are piloting routes from October to December in 2025, giving us an MRR of $3,000.
Senior Lifestyle owns over 30 retirement homes in the Chicagoland area, but we are not stopping there. There are over 700 retirement homes across Chicagoland, but there are over 30,000 retirement homes across America, making this a $1.8 billion opportunity that we can tap into.
Roots is an affordable, meaningful, and unique option. And if there's someone to do it, it's us. Maddie and I have been doing theater our entire lives. We are experts at crafting stories and immersing our audience. And now we're using those same skills to make sure that stories are passed down for generations.
I'm Maddie.
And I'm Sophia.
And we built Roots because we believe that photos and stories should not be lost in the past. Together, let's bring them into the future. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Lance.
And I'm Casey.
And we are FeedLogic, the easiest access to advanced manufacturing data analysis.
Imagine you're driving a car with no dashboard, no speedometer, no fuel gauge, and no warning lights. You wouldn't be able to tell if you're going too fast, about to run out of gas, or worse yet, if you're about to break down. This is exactly how most American manufacturers run their equipment today.
Meet Andrew. As the production manager at a local 70-year-old CNC production shop, he oversees his computer numerical controlled machines to make sure that he can keep the lights on at the end of every day. But Andrew has a problem. His shop runs on guesswork, not on data. He has untrained operators that can't detect when his tools are starting to wear out. His machinists are guessing on how fast to run the machines to make sure they're in their sweet spots. And he's paying operators to simply be on standby, overseeing production. What this leads to is Andrew's shop running at 50% efficiency. He spends 3 to 4 hours a day overseeing his machinists instead of optimizing his operations. He spends thousands of dollars in unnecessary spare tools, knowing his will break prematurely. And he has one operator watching one machine at a time, since he knows the machines face immediate risk of breakdown once they go unsupervised.
Andrew isn't alone in this issue. After talking to over 60 machinists across the US, we heard time and time again that they rely on guesswork, trial and error, and old textbooks to run their machines. And despite CNC machines making parts for airplanes, medical devices, and other mission-critical components, Andrew's shop is working in the upper percentile of efficiency. In fact, the average efficiency across the US is a mere 26%. In Andrew's words, sum it up best. Machine monitoring is a pain. It's so complicated that it's not worth doing. This is simply because every time Andrew has tried to optimize his shop, current systems are way too expensive and far too complicated.
Meet FeedLogic, the easiest access to advanced data analysis, helping machinists make parts better and faster. Our vibration sensor makes data analysis easy. Simply bolt it onto the machine, connect it to power and Wi-Fi, and start recording. No downtime, no headaches, and it's retrofit friendly.
Behind the scenes, our device takes in vibration data and uses machine learning to track when the machine changes patterns, bogs down, or needs attention. This enables FeedLogic to alert CNC shop managers the exact time when their machines needs their tools to be changed or when their speeds need to be adjusted.
So instead of Andrew spending 3 to 4 hours a day overseeing his machinists, he can watch what's happening from his desk. Instead of spending thousands in unnecessary tools, he'll know exactly when his tools will break, and he can maximize their tool life and get the most parts out of them as possible. And instead of having one operator watch one machine at a time, he can have one operator watch 3 machines at a time, enabling them to set up future jobs ahead of time and even grab a coffee while they wait. What this equates to is more than 5 hours in downtime savings for Andrew, leading to more than $3,000 in savings per month. With this, we can charge Andrew at $850 per month for our software, leaving him with immediate return on investment. In fact, we can even offer our hardware sensor for free since it only costs us $30 to make, and since our competitive advantage lies in our software algorithms.
The US CNC market is worth $20 billion, and our beachhead market is about 3,000 medium-sized CNC job shops across America. If we can capture just a little over 3% of this market, we can estimate $1 million in revenue over the next 3 years. And our journey begins with Andrew, as we're piloting our device at his facility in 2 weeks with more shops in the pipeline. Andrew chose to work with us because FeedLogic is the simple, retrofittable solution to data analysis. In a time where small to medium-sized shops are constantly being overlooked by expensive and invasive alternatives, our team is building an easy-to-use, accessible device, ensuring these shops succeed.
Over the course of JumpStart, our team has made substantial progress, and I'm immensely proud of the work we've done. From barely knowing feeds and speeds in week 1, to interviewing dozens of machinists, shadowing 4 local manufacturers, and becoming experts in dynamic machine systems, we're set to scale our technical development and, most importantly, our sales outreach imminently after JumpStart. And our team is extremely technical and scrappy, with some of us being former founders and all of us being engineers. We're proud and passionate about this idea of helping hardworking American manufacturers speed up and optimize their production, and our vibration sensor is the first step in that direction. So thank you, we are FeedLogic, the easiest access to advanced manufacturing data analysis.
Hi, I'm Sama. And I'm Zubi. And I've been learning Arabic for more than 11 years. And I've been teaching it to kids for about 6 years. And in 2023, I met Sarah. Sarah came up to me after class and told me that she wanted to learn Arabic, but she couldn't find classes, that she couldn't find a community to learn with, and that she just wanted to practice the language. And it wasn't just Sarah alone. Multiple women throughout this time came up to me and asked me if I could teach them Arabic. And it all came down to one main thing, that there are no Arabic learning spaces for women by women. And you might wonder, well, why does that matter? Well, millions of women around the world want to reconnect with their faith and culture through Arabic learning, but current options are not women-centered and they're not community-based. And well, why does that matter? Well, women-centered is important so that women can feel represented, supported, and safe. And community-centered is important because the easiest way to learn a language is to immerse yourself in the country of origin. But since that's not always possible, the second best option is to immerse in community and learn through and with community.
Arabic is the second hardest language to learn, and it's the third fastest growing language in the US. And keeping that in mind, we've conducted our customer research, and we had more than 100 interviews with every woman out there about their Arabic learning experience, and they all said the same thing. All the platforms out there, they're not tailored for women by women, they're not community-centered, and they're not placement-based. And this is the worst part, because every time they had to go out there and sign up for an Arabic class, they had to start all over again, which is very frustrating and very expensive. And this is exactly when we come in.
Rumman offers culturally relevant classes that balance both grammar and speaking, which are community-based and placement-based, which means that we meet women exactly where they're at. And the market opportunity for this is huge. The Arabic language learning market globally is valued today at $3 billion. And in the next 5 years, it is projected to be valued at $10 billion. And if we capture just 1% of women who want to learn Arabic in America, that's already a monthly $15 million opportunity. And we do this with a simple business model. Our one-on-one classes are $150 a month online, and our group classes, which we've just launched for the fall, are $40 a month.
And so far, we have served 15 students on 101 online classes, and we've generated $10,000 in revenue. And our plan for the next 12 months is clear. First, we're gonna work on the same go-to-market strategies that have been already working for us through JumpStart. First is the in-person event. We've hosted our first in-person event with 30 RSVPs and 30 attendees, and it was so successful. The second is community partnerships. There are communities in the Chicagoland area and beyond that we've already been part of. And we've partnership with one of these organizations so we can continue to grow organically.
I'm Zubi, and I'm the founder of Rumman Academy, and I'm completing my master's in education here at Northwestern.
And I'm Sama, and I'm a rising junior studying economics, international studies, and business. And just like we helped Sarah and the 14 other students like her to connect with their faith, heritage, culture, and language, we want to help every woman out there. So join us in building a community for Arabic learners by women for women. Thank you so much.
Hello everyone, my name is Samarth, and I'm the co-founder and CEO of Quarkle, an AI editing partner used by 36,000 fiction writers today.
And I'm Al, I lead product growth.
Hey there, that intro sounds nice and clear. If you want to add a little casual twist to match your style, you could say something like,
Whoops.
Hey everyone, I'm Samarth.
My ChatGPT went off, that was not intended, but we carry on. So, let me tell you more about Quarkle. We're already making $78,000 through paid subscriptions every year from a $20 a month subscription. This is what our revenue chart looked like over the last 20 months. And we grew at an average of 22% every single month. But let's back up. How did we get here in the first place? My name is Samarth, and when I worked as a software engineer at Amazon, I brought 1.5 million ebooks and turn them into 1.5 million audiobooks using text-to-speech AI. And as I worked with writers every single day, I saw that self-publishing is really hard because writers don't have editors. If you're working with Penguin Random House or HarperCollins, you get an editor bundled with your deal. But since you're self-publishing on Kindle, you have to find your own editor. This process costs $5,000 to $10,000, and it's so difficult that half the writers on Kindle skip editing altogether. And yet, the most successful authors always got professional editing. 96% of authors who made $100,000 got professional editing. I felt this was deeply unfair, and I wanted to level this playing field with technology. So I had one of my best friends, pitched him on this idea, and both of us decided to quit our jobs, move to the Himalayas, and build Quarkle, an AI editing partner.
No worries at all. That was a fun little intro.
Okay, I don't know.
And I love the.
Oh my God. So, many iterations later, this is what Quarkle looks like today. And today we have given more than 36,000 writers an editing team in their back pocket. So, these are the kind of comments we got. And these. And these. And articles calling us the future of writing, and emails, and so on. You get the point. So, let's show you how this works.
So imagine I'm a Kindle author writing a detective novel. I've been rewriting this one palpable line of dialogue where the culprit dismisses the detective, and he goes, you're very good at piling things up, detective, though piling many things up does not necessarily make them heavy. This doesn't really make any sense. It sounds unnatural. So I go to Quarkle, and I ask, how can I improve this dialogue? Quarkle immediately understands what's wrong, saying it's a bit clunky because of the repetition of piling in things, and instead suggests, you're good at stacking evidence, detective, but a tower of assumptions doesn't make them facts. I love this dialogue. I want to see it in my document, so I implement the changes with a single click. Voila.
Easy as that. And a lot of you might think, isn't this the same as ChatGPT? Our edits are twice as likely to be accepted than ChatGPT. How do we know this? Because we started with ChatGPT. And then we added our own context engineering pipeline. And the day we switched, we saw that the number of people accepting our edits doubled. If an author accepts a Quarkle edit, it must be good for an author to place it in their document. We made Quarkle even better by doubling down on the edits that work. The rise you saw in the last slide, that's what that jump looks like today. We have made our edits 6 times better since launch by improving our algorithms in A/B testing or prompt engineering.
Let me tell you about what we learned this summer. We discovered that people are searching for AI writing tools on Google, and we were able to acquire them for $70. Each of these customers then brought us $101, meaning that for every dollar that we put in, we get $1.45 back on paid ads. So we did this 11 more times, and we printed $300 profit on an $800 ad budget. Imagine what we could do with $100,000 as we look to scale to the 30 million writers in the world today.
As we look to make Quarkle a household name, I want to talk about this market a little bit. There were 100 million people visiting Wattpad every month. 250 million for Archive, our own another fanfiction website. This is more than GitHub and Twitch, and we're targeting all authors who are writing fiction, from hobbyists to Kindle authors to Wattpad authors. Let me leave with this one testimonial I got from a Quarkle user. He said, "My writing partner died of cancer in 2021, and Quarkle's been a great help to get back into that collaborative mindset for productivity." This is the impact that we're having on people's lives today. And that's what makes me so proud to present this company to all of you. Thank you.
They say that you only get one first impression.
But with us, you can have as many as you like.
My name is Milo.
I'm ND.
And we are Coffeecat. 7 seconds. That's the amount of time you have before people start forming their first impressions of you. And after just 5 minutes, those impressions are already beginning to solidify. The first few moments that you spend with people set the precedent for your relationship with them in the future. But despite that, only 45% of people report being satisfied with the first impressions that they make.
This first impression problem has been subtle enough to evade intervention, but COVID-19 has changed things. As a result of the pandemic, more than half of Gen Z reports declining social skills. Looking to our future, 45% of parents notice social deficits within their children. This means that kids that are already falling behind socially are falling even further behind. Finally, zooming out of COVID, 1 in 4 college students consider themselves socially awkward. Something has to change.
So how do you improve your social skills? Well, like anything, it takes practice and feedback. Practice is really easy. You can just go out and talk to people. But getting honest and objective feedback, that's a lot trickier. Most people turn towards their friends and family. But the problem with that is friends and family are biased. They'll tell you things that they think you want to hear, rather than the things that you actually need to improve. So people will turn to professional services. Life coaching and behavioral therapy make up a $200 billion industry. But these services also cost $1,500 a month, which is money that most people don't want to spend. Additionally, these services don't provide live feedback on real social interactions.
That's where we come in. Coffeecat is an app that facilitates first impression practice through quick online chats. After specifying their availability, users are paired and have 5 to 10 minute prompted conversations. Afterwards, they fill out feedback surveys on their partner. These are mutual evaluations, meaning you fill one out on your partner and your partner fills one out on you. Where the value in Coffeecat truly lies is users' ability to review this objective feedback and implement it going forward.
The important part about all of this is that it's unbiased. What makes Coffeecat unique is how it matches total strangers with each other to form these first impressions. And the benefits of this are numerous. First of all, strangers aren't afraid of maybe hurting your feelings. And this is good because that means they can provide real critical feedback that will actually allow you to improve your social skills. Additionally, they're not worried about there being awkwardness later. Because they're strangers, you're probably never going to interact with them again. So how do you motivate strangers to actually give this feedback? We actually found it's pretty simple. In order to schedule a new chat, you have to have first completed your previous partner evaluation.
When testing the hypothesis that people cared about getting feedback from strangers, we put up these posters around Evanston. In just 3 days, we got more than 50 responses. We also learned that 85% of people were willing to review others' responses with no external incentive. So we got to work creating an MVP that synthesized these two discoveries. We launched our initial trial last week. In just 3 days, we had 4 successful chats, with 75% of people involved wanting to be matched again. This is me in downtown Chicago promoting our first trial.
To monetize Coffeecat, we're going to utilize a subscription model. The chats themselves are totally free, and you can go on as many of them as you like. However, to access the feedback that your chat partners write about you, that's where you have to pay the $10 monthly subscription fee. Our beachhead market is going to be the socially awkward college students that we previously identified. With 217,000 college students in the Chicago area alone, this is an $8.1 million opportunity locally. Now, if we scale that up nationally, you get a $1.8 billion opportunity. As undergraduates, we have networks that extend across many college campuses and allow us to access communities that are otherwise totally inaccessible. My name is Milo Fernandez, and I am a rising sophomore studying biomedical engineering.
My name is Endu Waneri, and I'm a rising sophomore studying computer engineering and neuroscience.
And if you would like to get a taste of Coffeecat, you can scan the QR code and tell us about what you think, the impression that we made on you in these past 5 minutes. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Gabby. I am the founder and CEO of Kiran. Kiran is a software to scale hospital at home operations. The US hospitals face a critical capacity challenge. If you or your loved ones ever visited a hospital emergency room, you see the frustration. Patients experience hours of waiting in pain, while clinicians are overwhelmed with the patient overflow. As easy as it is to blame hospitals, the reality is that they are under tremendous pressure to be profitable as well. But here's what most people don't realize. Not every patient needs a hospital bed. In fact, 15% of hospitalized patients are stable enough to receive the same care safely in the comfort of their own bed. And the hospital at home programs do just that. It is an innovative program encouraged by the Center of Medicare and Medicaid Services to address the hospital capacity issues. This program benefits both hospitals and patients. It increases hospital bed capacity without new buildings and improve per patient profit for hospitals because care costs at home are lower. On the other hand, patients are happier. Patients are proven to have better care with lower chance of readmission rates. So it sounds like a no-brainer for hospitals. All of the hospitals should have already adopted that. But what is holding them back? The logistics are miserable. This summer, I spent 2 days a week at Northwestern Medicine, and this is what I observed. A clinical coordinator plans for the day, and a few nurses pack all the devices and go to patients' home one by one. While they provide care at home, they also have to message physicians to get ready for a video call with patients. And on the physician side, they have to jump between reviewing the charts to identify eligible patients for the program and waiting for a message from the field nurse. What seems straightforward quickly becomes unmanageable at scale. Now it takes hours to assign patients to nurses for scheduling, considering nurses' shifts and different starting locations for nurses, and the fixed time window for some visits. And the telemedicine coordination between physicians and patients become unmanageable because now 5 nurses are messaging physicians, and hospitals start to lose devices because they are all tracked manually. Kiran makes hospital at-home operations scalable. So route optimization is the first function that we designed to give nurse a one-click schedule and tell them the best way to get to patients most effectively, saving nurse 2.7 hours per day. Telemedicine coordination gives physicians a clear schedule, saving the communication time and give back physicians the critical clinical time. And device management tracks every single piece of critical medical equipment and saving thousands of dollars of losses. More importantly, we showed our system to many medical directors and program directors in hospital-at-home programs, and they are very excited about CareOn. 12 of them want us to reach out back and then have them test out our system, and we're in discussion with one of them to launch our MVP. Our beachhead market is the 153 hospitals who are running this program currently with their internal nursing team and resources and are at a scale of 6 to 10 patients per day. CareOn is on a subscription model with $75 per field nurse, which translates to $182,000 of contract size annually. In 2 years, we are looking to expand beyond logistics to the coordinations between multiple brick-and-mortar hospitals and eligible patient screening. We are the best team to build this. Together, we have experience in clinical insights and experience in selling and working with hospital administrators and the technical skills to actually build digital health products. Would you like to join us to scale hospital at home? Thank you.
We have main engine start. 4, 3, 2, 1, and liftoff. Liftoff of the 25th Space Shuttle mission.
All right. Thank you all for your votes. We're excited now to announce the awards once the music slows down. Cool. Thank you all again for attending and supporting all these teams. It's been such a great summer, and we're so excited for all of you to continue working on what you're working on. And this is just the start. So with that, let's get to the awards. First up, for the audience favorite prize and winning $1,000 is NLab. NLab is always an audience favorite, so congratulations.
Thank you.
She'll be here all night. Sorry? You're good. Next up, winning third place and $2,500 is Quarkle. Congratulations. Make sure you tell ChatGPT.
Yay.
All right, and coming in second place and bringing home $5,000 is FeedLogic. Congratulations. All right, and that leaves first place, winning $10,000, Nyck.ai. Congratulations, guys.
Thank you so much.
Of course. All right, let's give them a round of applause. Congratulations to the winners and all the teams that worked so hard this summer and made so much progress. We're so excited for you, and thank you all for attending tonight. Feel free to stick around to congratulate the teams. Thank you.